Is that our clean laundry? Oh my goodness. Good afternoon. It is October. It's a time of transition. My summer job will be over in 1 week, which means it will be over by the time you're watching this. And then we'll have only a few weeks to get ready to head south for the winter. We have lots more projects to get done on the interior of the yurt, including some that we had hoped to have done by the winter. But since we only have a few more weeks, we are going to have to prioritize. Our primary goal now is to manage to empty our belongings from the cargo trailer into the yurt before we leave. To do that, priority number 1 is getting the tile down on the floor. So over the past few days, Charles has been hard at work cutting tile, laying tile, and grouting tile. If you remember the tile that we put in the bathroom, we were surprised it looked a little bit darker in person than on the computer screen, so we weren't sure it would work for the rest of the yurt, but after having it in the bathroom for a few months, we actually really like it, and we decided to go ahead and order a bunch more to do the rest of the floor. Charles started the kitchen tile project in the very back underneath the appliances. He had to move the washing machine out of the way on the left there, and the hole on the right is where the dishwasher will eventually go. From there, he moved forward as far as he could with the mortar that he had mixed up. He's saving the more difficult ones for later, since he'll need to cut those with an angle grinder to make them round on the edges. What's today's project, Charles?
Woe and dread.
Go on.
I need to get at least part of this grouted so we can put our washer dryer back in place permanently.
Let's step back and talk about the floor of the yurt for a moment. If you've been around since last year, you know that there are structural insulated panels underneath the yurt to insulate the floor. And on top of that, there's tubing for the radiant floor heat. And there's a layer of aluminum foil on top of that, and cement board that we've been using as a floor up to this point. So we had to decide what to put on top of the cement board, and we considered wood, which can work with radiant floor heat, but we decided ultimately that the temperature swings in the yurt would be too great for wood. So tile was the logical choice for a floor, even if it won't be Charles's favorite project. We were eager to finish the kitchen floor so we could get the washing machine back in place to do our laundry again. And putting the machine back in place would not be nearly as easy as installing it a few months ago, because now there's drawers and a countertop right next to it. So we had to be a little bit creative to get it back in place. It's finally time to tackle the complicated edges, so let's talk about what's happening there. We're only tiling up to the snow supports, and we might find a way to make that outside edge look a little bit prettier once we're living in the yurt. By the end of this video, the floor will be tiled in about 1/3 of the yurt, which doesn't feel like a lot, but many projects here have felt like they are happening in slow motion. And when I remember that a year and a half ago, this was raw land with only a septic system and a driveway on it, that kind of helps put things in perspective. By this time last year, we had a working solar system and rainwater cisterns installed underground, and a yurt standing on top of a really nice platform. And since then, Charles has got the rainwater collection system up and running, framed and paneled the interior walls, sorted out the plumbing and vent system, finished the bathroom, and built half of the kitchen cabinetry. And when I think of it that way, it doesn't feel overwhelming at all. It feels like quite a lot of progress.
Why do you hate grouting?
It's a pain in the
You know I can't put that on YouTube.